don't know if this is working. Oh, there. Jeez, this is weird. Oh, I think it's still recording. It is? Okay. Alright then, let's just go to my worksheet. Alright, so I was worried that this video would take a long time, so what I ended up doing was actually typing in all the values, and I've tested them all, so that way I don't have any redo typing that I have to do to make it go by a little bit faster. And anyways, so we're going to just go through some basic functions in Oracle. The first value we're going to use is an absolute value. It returns the absolute value of whatever number you put inside of here. So usually we all know that the absolute value of 5 is going to be 5. But if we make this a negative number, let's say 15, the absolute value of negative 15 is positive 15. And so you can see how that works right there. And so one way you can, so this is an alias I'm using for the column name. Since I'm just using Dual, I gave it one. There's different ways you can do this. I just like doing the as and then writing the column name how I want it. Another numeric function is the ceiling. Now the ceiling returns the smallest integer that is greater than or equal to n. So instead of rounding up if it's 5, you just always round down. So let's say our number is 23.2. If we run this, our ceiling value should be 20, oh my goodness, I'm thinking of floor, not ceiling. So it should actually be 24 when we run this. And there it is. Now this one, the floor is what I was thinking I was doing. The floor returns the largest integer and equal or less than the number we're using. So now if I was to use the same number, 23.2, instead of rounding up to 24, it's going to give me the lowest number. So that should be, now it should be 23. And there it is. Now rounding is the same as rounding that we use in just basic math, where it's 5 and up you round up, and if it's 4 and down you round down. So if I have 23.2, it should still round to 23. And if I change this to 23.5, it'll round up to 24. Oh, and I did just both in the same round, so I'm going to just delete that. And I will delete that too. I don't need that many. I don't know, there's so many there. Okay, now we're going to move on to the character sets. The character sets, the first one we have is an AnyCap. The AnyCap returns the character with the first letter of each word up in uppercase. So if I have a name in here, let's put my name, and we do AnyCap on it, it should return the K and the L in both uppercase. And there you can see it made the first letters of each word uppercase. Now lower is pretty much the exact same. If I had Kayla Lindstrom, it's okay, not the exact same but opposite. So instead of making everything lowercase, it only makes the first two lowercase. Or you know what, let's test this. So I'm going to run this, and it's in all lowercase, but what if I didn't test this, so now I'm curious. My whole first name in uppercase and see if it puts it all in lowercase. And it does. So it doesn't matter where you have an uppercase, it will just make everything lowercase regardless of what you put in it. Okay, and then you have a left pad. The way the left pad works is if instead of explaining, it'd just be easier if I show it to you. Let's say I have my name. Oops, I still have a caps lock on. I have my name of Kayla, and I want that to be in parentheses. So the first one is the character that you want to use, and then the second expression is going to be how long I want it to be. So let's say I want it to be let's say 10 spaces long, and then the last one is how I want to fill in the left spaces till I have exactly 10. So I could just leave it and it would just fill it in with spaces, but I want you to be able to see it. So we're gonna use this symbol. I actually don't know what that symbol is called, but it's pretty. So we're gonna run this, and you can see it put in a whole bunch of padding so that if I was to count this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you can see I have 10 spaces filled in there. So that's how the lower pad work. And if you don't specify any of this, it will just use a default value of a single space right there. Okay, and then a left trim. Let's say I have, let's use the answer for the different one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then Kayla. And now it's kind of like it uses a pattern. So if I say I want everything with those symbols beforehand, it will take them out. So you can see it took out everything and it trimmed it just to the Kayla because I didn't want to see any of those squigglies. And one of the other character functions that you can use is the length function. This length function works. Oh my goodness, so sorry. Oh, I'm trying to remember. Oh, it returns it returns just the basic length of the characters that you have. So let's use my name again. And it's just going to be as length. It's going to return how long this character length is. 15. So this is 15 character spaces. It's going a lot faster than I thought it would. Trying to type it makes it take so much longer. Okay, and the date time functions. So there is another function that I left out of here, and it's because it uses a conversion function as well. So instead of using the function here, I'm going to wait till I make a video for the conversions before I show you that one. So we're going to skip to these three that don't require a conversion function to use for a date function. Alright, so the last day function works by giving you the last day of whatever month you tell it. So we're in October right now, and today is currently the 17th of October. So I'm going to type in 17 October of 2016, and this should tell me the last day of October, and that is the 31st, which is Halloween, and that would be lots of fun. Okay, and now months between. So the months between can give you a negative or positive value. It depends on if your first expression, the first month, if it is before or after the second date. So let's go ahead and put in today's date. And then October 16. And let's use December of this year. And we'll figure out how many months it is until December. So December is less than 2 months away. Almost, if you round it, it's about a month and a half. Now, since the first expression I used comes before the second expression, it's a negative value. But if I was to do December, let's make this easy so I don't have to type a whole bunch. Oh, oopsies. not what I wanted to do. December of last year, how many months it's been since then? It has been almost 10.5 months, approximately. Now, there is another thing about this function. I'm using 2 different months, but if I use the same date, I believe it should give me an actual integer and not a decimal. So I want to give that a try because I thought, yeah, perfect. My reading did not steer me wrong. So it will give you the same integer if it's the same date, or same date for the month. Or the last day. I did remember reading that it could also be if you use the last date for each month, it will also give you an integer. Alright, the next day function is kind of cool. So let's use the 17th of October again of this year. And now here, the second expression, I'm able to say, so the next day. So it's not going to give me the next day. It will give me the day I specify of the next week type thing. So today is Tuesday, and let's see, I want to know the date of the next Friday. I'm trying to remember. I don't remember if I have to have it in all caps or not, but I'm going to put it in all caps just in case. Alright, so it's saying that the next Friday is the 21st, 18, 19, 19, 20, 21. So yeah, that's correct. In 4 days, it will be the next day for Friday. So if I wanted to do a day of next week, let's say Monday. Oops, I didn't want to do that. There we go. It would be the 24th, and that's correct as well. Perfect. So these are just the very simple basic functions and how to use them. So we went through the date time functions, we went through character functions. I think the character function that can be kind of tricky if you don't know how to use it is the left padding. Other than that, everything else there is pretty simple. These work really well too. The absolute ceiling floor. I remember why I had a whole bunch of rounds for this one. Okay, so the round function, you can use a lot more to it. I just remembered this. I'm so sorry. The round function, you can also specify where you want it to round to. So I'm going to add some more decimal points here to show you an example. Now, say I want it to round to 1 decimal place. So we already know that if we round to 1 decimal place, this should be 24. Oh, sorry. Yes, 1 decimal place. I can't even understand. So I want to round and leave 1 decimal place. So the 2, it stays at 5. Now, if I put 0, it's going to round, like what I was saying before, to 24. Because I'm saying just round and leave this number no decimal places. Now, I can also round to negative decimal places. If I was to round to a negative decimal place, I'm going to round to this number here. Oh, you know what? I need more values. That's why. There. Now it will work. There we go. So 2230, because we're rounding using this number, so this stays at a 3, but this would be a 0, because it's almost as if you put a decimal here. And that is the round function and how it works. But you know what, just to show you another negative, because I want to see it too. Let's do this. And so if we round 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 0. Yeah. So everything else will be zeros, 2000. And that is how I use the round function. And I hope this basic functions tutorial was helpful. And the next video, I'm going to do some conversions, you know, like to date, to character and stuff. So that will be a lot of fun. And then after that, I hope to use these in more depth and more complex situations. And that's it.